The Lighthouse That Could Remember English Story Level 1. On the edge of a rocky island stood an old lighthouse with red and white stripes. The villagers called it Bright Tower because its light was strong enough to be seen from miles away. Boats sailed safely because of it. Many believed the lighthouse was just a building, but some old sailors whispered that Bright Tower could remember every person who passed near it. Eileen, a quiet girl who lived near the shore, loved the lighthouse more than anything else. She visited it every weekend, climbing a long path of stones that led to the top. She liked to sit near the lighthouse door and read her tiny books while the waves crashed below. She always felt peaceful there, as if the lighthouse protected her. One evening Eileen arrived late. The sky was already dark and the waves were crashing loudly. As she approached the lighthouse, the light at the top flickered, then grew brighter. Eileen smiled and said softly, "Hello, Bright Tower." To her surprise, the light glowed warmly as if answering her greeting. Eileen sat by the door and opened her book. The wind blew gently, brushing her hair aside. After a few minutes she heard a soft, deep voice. It seemed to come from the lighthouse itself. The voice said it remembered her, the girl who always read by its side. Eileen froze, unsure if she was dreaming. The lighthouse spoke again, calm and slow. It said it had watched over the island for more than 100 years, guiding ships through storms and dark nights. It remembered the fishermen, the travelers, and even children who once played near its base. It said Eileen was different because she visited not out of duty but out of kindness. Eileen felt a warm feeling spread in her chest. She asked the lighthouse if it ever felt lonely. The lighthouse replied that it did sometimes, especially on quiet nights when no boats passed. But when Eileen came, it felt less alone. Her presence made the wind softer and the nights brighter. The lighthouse told her stories about the sea, how the waves once reached higher than the rocks, how a lost ship found safety by following its beam, and how birds gathered around its light during storms. Eileen listened with wide eyes, imagining every scene. A strong wind blew across the island, and clouds covered the moon. The lighthouse dimmed slightly. It asked Eileen to go home before the weather grew worse. Eileen nodded, but promised she would return the next day. Before leaving, she placed her hand gently on the lighthouse wall and whispered goodbye. The lighthouse glowed warmly in response. The storm lasted all night. Eileen lay awake, worrying about the lighthouse. When morning came, she ran to the shore. The waves were high, and the wind was still strong. She hurried up the rocky path, hoping Bright Tower was all right. When she reached it, she saw the lighthouse standing tall and strong, its light shining proudly. Eileen felt relieved. The lighthouse spoke softly, thanking her for coming back so soon. It told her it had guided 3 boats through the storm and was tired, but happy. Eileen sat with the lighthouse until the sky cleared. She realized the lighthouse was not just a building, it was a friend. And from that day on, she visited even more often, reading stories, sharing her thoughts, and keeping Bright Tower company. The lighthouse remembered everyone, but it remembered Eileen the most. And as long as she came to visit, Bright Tower never felt lonely again.